You are listening to Catholic Family Podcast.
Hi everyone, this is Lisa Davis with another Catholic Momcast. It was one of my proudest moments as a mother when I heard how one of our sons had flattened a friend at a party when he was in college. I don't know if it was in jest or under the influence of a beer too many, but it seems a young man our son knew made a scurrilous remark about the Catholic Church, and the next thing he knew, without even thinking, he told us later, our son had socked the guy on the jaw so hard that he knocked him on the floor. That's my boy. Don't misunderstand. In the course of a normal day, I don't generally condone violence, except in a case like this, perhaps. I still preen over the fact that it was totally instinctual for my boy to defend his faith. There are things worth fighting for, and that one is at the top of the list. The Church has been extremely careful about defining what constitutes just and unjust wars amongst nations, but I think we can extrapolate from her lessons on the Fifth Commandment that the same basics hold true in both the big and little pictures. In most situations, a carefully worded and gentlemanly debate would be preferable, but every once in a blue moon, a sock on the jaw is just the ticket. Now let me repeat that. Every once in a blue moon. When someone who really deserves it gets beamed by a modern-day knight with proper intention, who defends what needs to be defended, gets the job done, and knows when to quit, justice is served. No harm, no foul. In the perfect world, it would be just that simple. But it never is simple, in the big or little picture, I'm afraid. Everything, however, does begin in the little picture. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world, while directing two adolescents to opposite corners of the room with her foot. Moms live the reality. It's practically a scientific principle that any group of two or more people confined to a limited space and using the same bathroom is going to wind up disagreeing about things, sometimes calmly and politely and sometimes not. It's a fact of life parents have to come to terms with. The Heavenly Father knows the same thing about the big picture. Doesn't matter what you do, there's going to be fighting. Take heart, though. While the never-ending inevitability of it may make a mom want to run for the hills, all the bickering and banging together of heads can be looked at as a rite of passage into adulthood, and an opportunity to learn some really important things about human interaction. Number 1, there's a right and a wrong way to communicate displeasure. Hitting your brother with the butt of a Nerf rifle is the wrong way. Slamming a syringe through your brother's hand is the wrong way. Cracking an egg on your sister's head is the wrong way. No matter how much a person wishes it were true, no one is the center of the universe. Just because you get a chocolate orange in your stocking doesn't mean all chocolate oranges belong to you. The world is not going to stop because you're having a bad hair day. Darn it. You are not the only person who ever has had a bad hair day, and it's highly unlikely that anyone but you is going to notice you're having a bad hair day. Rule number 3. Kindness begets kindness. Unkindness gets you right back on the snoot. If you had shared your chocolate orange with your sister, she would probably share hers with you now that yours is gone. If you French braid your sister's hair for her, she'll tell you how beautiful your bouffant is, even if you don't think so. If you hit your brother with the butt of a Nerf rifle, don't be surprised if he throws a hard plastic Noah's Ark elephant at your head. And if you crack an egg on your sister, well, you just better watch your back from here on out. Obvious as these simple rules of life seem, it takes years for them to finally take hold in most children. And as many of us in the adult world know, some people never learn them. Either they never got the memo, or they figured it wasn't for them. Look out telling them about it, though. They don't know about not killing the messenger, either. It's hard, this life, and managing not only our own uneven temperaments, but everyone else's too, especially if you're a mother. We might finally have true peace on earth, or at least in our own living rooms, if babies were born with a capacity for self-control, the maturity of tactful expression, and the angelic perfection of patience and charity. But alas, The little buggers almost always come into the world with the wrong ideas about just about everything. After about 6 months of sweet goos and gaws, if we're lucky enough to not have a colicky baby, the infant version of the will rears its head, and the real work of parenting begins. 1-year-olds must be told they can't say no to mommy and daddy. 2-year-olds have to learn they can't have everything they see. 4-year-olds need to know that the world doesn't revolve around them. And though you try to break it to them gently, 6-year-olds usually find out the hard way about an eye for an eye. And then when you think you've finally drummed it all into their sweet curly little heads, the little darlings turn 12 and forget everything you ever taught them. It's the life of a parent, our life's work, and it's exhausting, no kidding. But it is important. Because tiresome as they are, those daily little kerfuffles, the scuffles and the arguments, the grudges and miscommunications and the stupidity, are the training ground where parents do some of our most vital work. It's our job to catch the flying fists and steer the kids out of the boxing ring, or to at least referee them safely to a peaceful solution inside it. For however many times a day we need to do that, and for however many years that takes. It's possible, I guess, for children to learn how to live in peace with their fellow human beings on their own, or just by the school of hard knocks. But the lessons will be more surely honed if guided by the loving hands of parental referees, and though our main aim is always going to be peace in the home, it's always with a parent's loving care that a child should learn what really is worth fighting for. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle Rules the World, by William Ross Wallace, who lived from 1819 to 1881. Blessings on the hand of women, angels guard its strength and grace. In the palace, cottage, hovel, oh, no matter where the place, wood that never storms assailed it, rainbows ever gently curled, for the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. Infancy's the tender fountain, power may with beauty flow, mothers first to guide the streamlets, from them souls unresting grow. Grow on for the good or evil, sunshine streamed or evil hurled, for the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. Mothers, how divine your mission here upon our natal sod. Keep, oh keep the young heart open, always to the breath of God. All true trophies of the ages are from mother love impearled, for the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. Blessings on the hand of women, fathers, sons, and daughters cry, and the sacred song is mingled with the worship in the sky. Mingles where no tempest darkens, rainbows evermore are hurled, for the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world.
You've been listening to the Catholic Family Podcast. If you enjoyed this show, please share it with your friends and family. You can support the production on Patreon and PayPal, and you can reach Kevin at kevin89davis@gmail.com. Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, all for the greater glory of God.